Samsung are good at confusing the hell out of us consumers as we try to update our TVs or gadgets. Some gadgets will simply work with the update and let it go through. Others, well, such as TVs, we have to be a little more discerning. Why, I hear you ask? Well, updates can and have done, not only with Samsung, but with LG and Sony and Panasonic and many more, have screwed with things and made the viewing experience, in a word, shitty. Which means we like to know from someone like me who's applied the update whether the old one really was better or not, and whether the new one is worth moving to. And if so, what are the settings that work best? So confusing it is, and it gets even more confusing when one country will have one update before another, or perhaps an even completely different update altogether. All is not lost. In fact, after some talking and fiddling and testing between 1207.2 in the US and 1208.2 in the UK, where I am, things are looking promising. I'm Stu, this is 3B, and those of you looking for my settings for 1207.2 in the US could be in luck. 1207.2 in the US, 1208.2 in the UK. It's only a digit, right? It can't be that different, surely. Perhaps. It's hard to tell. 1207.2 is 1205.65 megabytes in size. 1208.2 is 1279.72 megabytes in size. It's not an enormous difference, but big enough in code terms. Phew. Here's the thing, it's great when both the UK and the US are on the same update. I can give you my settings and everyone, mostly, is happy. Aside from those who believe that the dynamic setting is the way to go. Yet, for those that do like my settings, and there are one or two of you that do, and there are a few that use my settings as kind of a starting point, which is kind of a good place to start from. So when in the UK we're on a different update than the US, sometimes ahead, other times behind, it makes getting settings for what you guys have in the US difficult. And sometimes, you know, you could say it's impossible, or so it would seem for me to work with them. Then I had a thought. A friend of mine just updated and got a KS9000 TV in the US, a second-hand one, but still really good, in great nick, and pretty, and it's a very decent TV. Now he was asking me about the settings, and then I said, well, update and give the 1208.2 update settings I use in the UK a go on 1207.2. And would you believe it? They actually work out pretty well indeed. Normally, you know, I kind of wouldn't recommend using one update settings for another differing update, but it appears that on this occasion, at least to my friend's eyes, that the 1207.2 using the UK settings of 1208.2 work pretty well. So if you are looking for the 1208.2 settings, you will be able to watch the video at the end of this one. It should show up sort of the next video to watch or something like that. So go try them out. They're a good starting point. You may have to tweak them a little bit, so don't get all sort of shouty and complainy. But overall, according to my US friend, they work well. A good starting point at least. So check out 1208.2. review also, that's also available. And also don't forget to visit Bits, Bytes and Bobs on all things update and more, and get alerted of when updates are available for your set. Also, if you would like personalized support for all your tech and get further detailed reviews on updates, the ones that I simply can't show on YouTube, and much more, consider joining my Patreon. It supports the channel and helps me help you, and all for only $1. So this has been 3B, I'm Stu, and I'll catch you later. Thanks again, guys. Bye-bye.